What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, where for today's video, thanks to Shozy Store, we're going to be checking out the APC Toys Galaxy Mob Airforce Transformers Prime Jet Vehicon. Now, if you would like to pick this up, then definitely be sure to check out the link down in the description box below. And what an incredible design. I really think the Vehicons were by far some of the best looking Decepticon troops that we've really ever seen, and for this being a mold which is pretty much a decade old, it still looks incredible. If you were to compare it to how they actually looked in the TV show, it's pretty much bang on, and it's so awesome to see APC Toys once again reissue one of the more harder to find Transformers Prime figures, and they've made it better. They've scrapped all of those nasty ass stickers, and they've also included all of the weapons that he and the other Vehicons used in the TV show. So as we check out the details, what an incredible looking face design. This was just one of the regular foot soldiers of Megatron, yet really does look like a main character. I love how much detail is embedded in the chest piece. The engine block appears to become the Decepticon insignia, which is great, and the metallic purple is just looking sick. This was either not painted first time round or was a sticker on the original Takara release, so it's so wicked to finally see this actually painted up to its potential. Even the legs I think look so show accurate. There are so many panels embedded inside of these. It's honestly kind of impressive that they do look as good as they are. And as we spin around to the back, we have the massive jetpack. Personally, I've always preferred the design of the Jet Vehicon over the regular land-based version. I just think the wings make him look so much more formidable. But this was a foot soldier of Megatron, so let's see what firepower this guy's packing. And in true Prime Universe Vehicon style, we have two arm blasters. Now this straight away is a huge improvement when compared to the Takara release, as that original figure only included an arm's microns, which wasn't the best accessory. These really were the only weapons that the Vehicons used in the TV show. I really like that from certain angles you are given the impression that much like in the show, these have actually transformed out of his arms. And then, probably one of my favourite accessories would be this brand new interchangeable head sculpt. So, if you've checked out the Transformers Prime show, you guys know there were thousands of these Vehicons, and it's really cool for APC Toys to give us an alternate head sculpt, because for those of you that want to army build these, you can have some slight variations in the collection. So, I thought this was such a great inclusion. In some ways, I actually prefer this design over the regular version. The visor looks so sick, the light piping is so insanely good, and that metallic purple is just looking awesome. So yeah, fantastic inclusion. And then finally included are a pair of stealth mode blasters specifically designed for the land-based Vehicon. So these are such a great inclusion. They do attach onto any version of the land-based Vehicon, so I thought that was sick, and the energized paint is just looking brilliant. A vehicle mode with additional cannons attached onto the front is just so wicked, so I think this is definitely how I will be displaying this figure going forward. Now, checking out his articulation, I'm gonna be honest guys, it's kinda dated. This is a decade old mold now, so it doesn't stack up too well compared to some of the modern releases, but as we get stuck into it, the head is on a ball joint, so it will look up, it will look down, and it can look left to right to a pretty decent range. The shoulders, due to transformation, can be lowered, they can be risen, moved forwards and backwards, and hinged out to the side. The elbow design is a little strange, so there is a bicep cut, and then technically two joints. One is a pin, one is a ball joint, so you can get a pretty decent curl, but then the hand looks a little strange because there's no wrist swivel, there's only a wrist hinge due to transformation. There is no waist cut at all, and it's awesome they have reissued this guy, but it would have been amazing had maybe they engineered that into this figure, you know, made this mold their own in some ways. But the hips are on ball joints, so these will kick forwards, they will kick backwards and out to the sides. The range of motion going outwards is a little loose due to these being on ball joints, so you may want to look into picking up some floor polish. There is then a thigh cut, a knee bend which can go, I'd say 85 degrees, 80 degrees, not too sure. And then finally, nothing in the ankles at all. And to be fair, I guess technically you could hinge the wings forwards and backwards. So it's not terrible, but definitely nothing spectacular. But I will still try my best to put this guy through the pose test. Now, checking out some comparisons, on the right hand side we have the original Takara Tomy Jet Vehicon. Now overall, I completely prefer the look of the APC Toys version. Not only does he have some additional details, but the purple is way closer to what we saw in the actual TV show. Not to mention there are no ugly ass stickers on this guy at all. He includes way more accessories than I thought I even needed for a Vehicon. And before I smacked out this review, I did do a very quick Google search on the aftermarket prices for the original Vehicon, and they are just astronomical. You're looking anywhere between $100 upwards, whereas this guy at the moment is retailing for $30. So if you haven't as of yet picked up this mold for your collection and you are looking to do so, definitely I would recommend the APC Toys version, because even in terms of plastic quality, this release is either pretty much identical to this version, or if anything, feels a little better. Next up, we have the regular land-based version of the Vehicon, which I believe was the mold that Hasbro originally took to turn into the Jet Vehicon. Here is how he sizes up alongside the real Prime Universe RC. This is the first edition Angel Engine. Then we have Terracon Cliffjumper, Transformers Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, so he is a very decent size for a deluxe class. Then we have the Earthspark Optimus Prime, which just this morning I heard is soon to be replaced by the upcoming Studio Series 86 Commander class. And then finally we have the Legacy Evolution Prime Universe Dreadwing. So this comparison is really just to show you guys that despite him being a decade-old mold, he still holds his own alongside some of these newer releases, and in some ways is a little better. I mean, this thing is so accurate to how he appeared in the original TV show. So, now we turn to transformation time for the Jet Vehicon. For the first step, you're going to want to take this wrist joint and fold this here all the way inside. Then we'll come to the bicep and the elbow joint. So, first of all, you're going to want to compress this like that, and then use the ball joint and this bicep swivel to kind of fold that joint inside this slot. Then what you'll do is line that tab up with this little slot here, so snap that into place, and do the same for this side. So, take the wrist joint, rotate this here all the way inside, then you'll compress these joints up and fold this joint by using the bicep and the ball joint inside the forearm, and then you'll snap that piece there into place. Then we'll come down here to the shins, so you'll literally take a hold of the foot and pull this section forwards. Then you'll take the foot piece and fold this inside the shin, just like this, and leave it sitting like that for now. We'll do the same here for this side, so take that shin, hinge it all the way up. The kneecap actually stops it, so as soon as you hit that, just stop pushing it. Then we'll grab a hold of that foot and fold it all the way inside. And the compression that goes on inside these legs I think is seriously cool for an older deluxe release. So grab a hold of this panel, fold that out, and do the same here for this side. And then grab a hold of these panels, just begin extending everything, and now we're going to combine everything directly down the middle. So push those tabs in, then you'll come here to this one, which is kind of a hook. So you'll want to latch this side over the top and then slide it in, and then we'll come to these final ones and just clip those in like this. Then what that allows you to do is to take the knees and fold all of this up like that, and then take these panels here and shift these all the way up like this. Now before you lock anything into place, you're going to want to spin around here to the back, take a hold of what will become the rear bumper, hinge this upwards, and then you're going to want to compress it inwards all of the way. It will shoot the head backwards just like that, and then you can see two tiny little tabs which really and truly are just going to rest on the underside of this panel. Now we've done that, we can utilize the hinge and the ball joint that we have for the shoulder to shoot this tab inside this slot. So just slide that in there, and then we're going to tab this into place. Do the same here for this side, so slide that all the way in and snap it into place, giving everything a good old squeeze. Then we'll spin here to the underside, take the wings, completely straighten these out, and then we'll take this hinge joint and fold this all of the way around until it snaps into place. Spin around to the side and lock those tabs into these slots. And bang! Here we have the Jet Vehicon fully transformed into a car with a pair of wings on the side. But to be fair, this was basically how it looked in Transformers Prime, and when you bear in mind that this originally was released in 2012, I think the designers did a fantastic job. This is looking so accurate. He has next to no undercarriage kibble, some landing gear sculpted up front. Check out those intakes, and I really like how APC Toys this time round have decided to go for a much darker tint when it comes to the windshield windshield. This does a pretty good job in concealing some of the internal robot mode junk, and the build quality for this figure is great. It feels just as good as the original. All of the panels click in seamlessly, and it is just such a solid jet mode to accompany a banging looking robot mode. And to show you guys how it looks once fully weaponized, here we have the two forearm blasters attached onto the wings, which I think looks even better than the regular look. So all round, it's just such an awesome looking figure. Now, checking out some jet mode comparisons, we are starting off again with the original version on the right. Now, the only thing I prefer about the Takara version would be the metallic purple highlights that we have on the side. Unfortunately, those are missing on the APC Toys version, but the windshield is looking so much nicer on this version. And as I mentioned previously, there are no sticker details at all. So the headlights and the wings, that is all paint on the new version, whereas unfortunately, those were ugly ass stickers on the original. Here is how he sizes up alongside the regular land-based version of the Vehicon, which, as I mentioned previously, this guy is a retool of, and I think they did a fantastic job. I mean, both of these alt modes look dead on to how they appeared in the TV show, despite for the most part the engineering being the same between the both of them. Here is how Jet Vehicon stacks up alongside the regular Studio Series Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, so still a very decent deluxe scale. Then we have the Earthrise Optimus Prime, and I'm kind of thinking that in future, because this guy is soon to be replaced, maybe I'm gonna whack out the dead Optimus Prime. I mean, his time is now sadly kind of over. And then finally, just to show you guys that he doesn't look too out of place alongside some of the new stuff, here we have the Prime Universe Legacy Evolution Dreadwing. And so, wrapping up on this review for the APC Toys Galaxy Mob Airforce. I think he's a great reissue. In some ways, even better than the original. It's awesome to see them completely replace all of those nasty ass stickers for some actual proper painted details. He includes way more accessories when compared to that original Takara version, and not to mention is way more affordable. The aftermarket price for the original version now goes for around $100, where this one is retailing now for $30. The plastic quality I think is just as good, if not maybe even better. My only issue would be the articulation. It would have been amazing to have seen APC Toys maybe tweak some of the joints, but the transformation and the jet mode, much like the robot mode, is crazy screen accurate. So if you are looking to pick this guy up, then be sure to check out the link down in the description box below. I'd love to get your thoughts on both the figure and the review down in the comments. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching, and until my next review, transform and roll out!